Today, we meet innovator Louis Plante, an electrical engineer and musician who faced a very serious problem. Louis has cystic fibrosis, a disease that causes thick mucus to build up in the lungs and damage the respiratory system. To clear the mucus, Louis underwent chest physical therapy or clapping, which is inconvenient and painful. So Louis used his skills to invent his own solution.
Louis, thank you for having us. You know, this is my first time in Canada, and I really can't think of a better reason to cross over the border than to come and meet someone like you.
Well, if I can be the emissary of Canada, I welcome you.
No, the honor is all ours, believe me. It's really cool to be in your home, especially here in your shop. And it begs the question, how did you become an engineer?
Well, that started by a passion for electronics when I was 8 years old. I was just a kid trying to follow all the other kids, playing soccer and baseball and not doing so well because of my illness, the cystic fibrosis. You know, as a kid and you're facing and grow up and he goes and he says, well, you're not going to live up to your teens. It's kind of hard to take. And I used electronic just to forget about all these barriers and all these mountains I would have to climb later and just focus and have fun and do my little projects and learn some more. You know, I was like an electronic junkie.
Tell us what it's like to live with this condition.
You know, when you're faced with a diagnostic from a doctor and you're such an early age, it makes you grow up fast because you're faced with, you know, deadly disease. You're faced with seeing one of your friends going, you know, dying. I lost my sister at the age of 11.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
Oh, well, it's part of life. And but that part of life makes us grow. And as kids, we come to grow very, very fast because we're facing with all these obstacles.
What about treatments for the condition?
There are some. For example, what is considered the gold standard in physiotherapy for cystic fibrosis is clapping. So it's, you know, you're just hit.
On your chest?
Yeah. You get hit on the chest, and it's barbaric. It's, you know, it's medieval.
Suffer from the condition, and then you suffer from the treatment as well.
Exactly.
What did you do?
Well, I brought my own solution. I built a device called the frequencer.
You began working on the solution for yourself,
Yeah.
you with your own hands.
Well, it was in 2002. I was down with fever, and there was this memory that was coming back to my head, where when I was a teen, I was sitting in front of a loudspeaker, and there was this conference, and the guy was speaking with a very low voice.
Like on the radio, right?
Yeah, like FM radio, probably having an equalizer with amplified low frequencies. And every time that guy would be talking, I would start and cough. I was coughing my lungs out. And I was disturbing him from his speech. So if he listens, I'm very sorry. But he had to stop every time. He had to stop every time I was coughing. And I was like, oh no. And then he looked at me, you know, with lasers in his eyes and say, oh, stop coughing. And then I would stop coughing because he would have stopped talking. And then, okay, he stopped coughing. So he started talking again. I would cough again. So we went like that, like 4 or 5 times. The guy was mad. So I moved out. And he continued his speech and everything was cool. And this memory was kind of recurrent during my fever. So I decided right there to try to use sound to move my secretion out of my lungs. So I sat there in the hospital. I drew stuff for 2 weeks, take notes, and everything I could. And then I came back home. I couldn't wait just to plug out my amps and my frequency generator and speakers and just see if there was something I could do.
And what happened?
I found a particular frequency that would just give me a cough like crazy. And it happened to be the resonant frequency of the chest wall cavity. So yeah, my chest would start to vibrate, and the mucus was just being loosed up from my lungs, and it was so good. It was doing so much a good job that right there I knew that I had to bring that concept out of my basement and to bring it to the people that were suffering the same illness as I am suffering.
Feels like a story out of a movie, Louis. I mean,
Well, it's that's what happened, and you know, we went from there. We went from there.